Welcome back. I'm Coach Tina, and I'm sharing with you the form and technique for setting up your bench press. Now, the setup sounds like, oh, there's all this extra time and whatever, you just want to get to the press. But the hardest thing about any kind of lift with the barbell is actually the setup. The setup is what determines the success of your lift and how effectively you can lift the weight. Besides that, with the right setup and form, you can lift much heavier than if you have, holes in the form. So let's start first with the height of the barbell. This is very important for safety and also for the efficiency of your lift. And I'm going to give you an example. This is set up in the right place for me, and this is what I want to check, that when the barbell is lifted straight up, that I'm not hitting the hooks. So there's about 2 or 3 inches of clearance before I bring it over to where I need it to be. You do not want to have to lift the barbell up to get into the hooks. So that's number one. Number two is how I actually get under the bar. You will start off at the end of the bar. For women, the bench is, your stance is going to be determined by the bench width. Not ideal, but just the reality of gyms. So I'm going to get in probably a little bit wider than my squat stance. I'm going to get under the bar with an arch on the balls of my feet to slide my shoulders under. And what you need with your feet is for the feet to be as close to the shoulders as possible without the heels lifting. The bench press requires leg drive. So if my whole foot is down on the floor, it allows me to push into the floor to help me with the weight. It is not cheating. It is safety and physics, that the entire body is involved in a bench press. In this position with my feet pressed into the ground, the heels as close to my shoulders as it can be without lifting off the floor. My quads are tight, just being in this position, as well as my glutes. This engages the entire lower body that supports the bench press. And as I try to find the upper body position, my shoulder blades are pinching together so that my chest rises. This is one of the few exercises where there is an arch in the back, but the arch is not there for the sake of an arch. This arch indicates that my glutes are engaged and my lats are pulled down towards my pockets. The lats, which is one of the biggest muscle groups in your upper body, is also part of bench press. It's not just chest. So I have an arch, my lats are pulled down. And for me, the grip starts where the rough is, where my thumb finds that as a starting place. I will show you from a different angle how you know you have the right grip. So from here, I'm going to lift it up, not curve, and then bring it over to where the barbell should be, which is right below the nipple. So it's right near your xiphoid process, which is the bottom part of the rib cage, right in the middle of your body. So you're going to lift, bring it up above the chest, press into the feet, take a big breath in like you're about to go underwater. My core tightens up, and I pull the bar down to that position. My arms should look perpendicular to the ground, and press it back up. So that is the setup of the bench press. The heels are down because it allows more contact with the feet, more engagement with the legs. I'm going to rack the bar with the safety cue and then let it down. So now I'm going to change the angle so you can see the position of my arms and how wide it should be. Not because a narrow grip is wrong, but when my forearms are perpendicular to the ground, it allows an efficient lift. As you can think about gravity, gravity's, on Earth is pulling things straight down. So if you want to lift something against gravity, the most efficient path is not to the right and to the left and up. It's a straight line against gravity. That's your gravity is creating the challenge, the force, pulling down. You are using your muscles to resist gravity, and the straight line up is the most efficient path. So I want you to see where my grip placement is from this angle, and you're looking for my arms to be totally parallel, now the forearms to be totally parallel to each other and thus perpendicular to the ground. Let me get into position here so you can see. I know exactly where my grip is because I do this, I've done it so many times that I know where the marker on the bar is that'll give me this parallel forearm. So right here, from your angle, my forearms should be completely parallel towards each other so that when I press the dumbbell, this barbell up or pull it down, my arms are moving in a straight line perpendicular to the floor. And here's the safety cue to rack the bar and back down. If you've got any questions about bench press, I would love to answer them. If this has been helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'm going to cover other lifts, but one at a time. I'll see you next time.